What up, y'all? What's good, man? We back, man. Yo, listen, first thing first, man, I want to thank y'all, man. I really appreciate the comments, man. It takes a lot to really do these videos and for me to actually come outside, because I call this coming outside. I'm more of an introvert, you know what I mean? I'm more sitting in, you know what I mean, in my lonesome doing what I need to do by myself and whatnot. I really ain't with all the coming outside and being around a whole bunch of people, you know what I mean? But y'all giving me the support, y'all giving me the courage and the motivation to stop that, you know what I mean? Stop acting like that, because I see that, you know, coming outside sometimes is good, you know what I mean? So I can come outside sometimes, you know what I mean? But not all the time, sometimes, you know what I'm saying? So this video, I'm gonna show you the second beat in this beat series that I don't really have a name for, but I'm really just going through all the beats that I made from back in the days and all the way up to now. So this will probably be a very, very long series. And I'm just trying to give you guys at whatever stage you are, because I know when I first started out, I didn't want nobody to listen to none of my beats, you know what I'm saying? It was really just my stepson really encouraging me, throwing the battery like, yo, your shit really sound good, you know what I'm saying? But I'm thinking it really did at that point, you know what I'm saying? Because I got ears and I listen and I could hear what I'm saying, I could hear what I'm doing. I was just, you know, that limiting belief, self-doubt, because I just started something new, you know, a few years ago, becoming into a new producer, learning new skills, trying to do something that I've never done before, you know, that you had to get through that imposter syndrome and whatnot. So I think I'm through it, you know what I mean? And I'm here to share my story, my side, to help you get out that shell that you may be in and whatnot, because you may be at a point where your beats sound good, or you may have just starting out. So it doesn't matter what it sounds like. What matters is if you keep sticking with it. So let's get into the second beat. Not one of my favorite beats, but you let me know in the comments how it sounds. And if you want to work, we could definitely work together and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? I don't really have a course or anything like that coming up. We are trying to help musicians, artists, people like you, where we can help you build a business, get your credit straight, so that way you can fund your own self and turn your music into a business. We build your website, we write blogs for you, we do the whole soup to nuts. So go to timeserverecords.com. Everything is there for you, or you can click the link in our description to take you back to a page to give you all that information. So let's get straight into it, you dig? So this beat was done on the MPC and used only like 5 tracks. I chopped up the drum loop, added a drum loop, and put some other sounds around it. And at this time of my beat making era, I was in my head like I didn't want to be a drag and drop producer where you could literally make a beat with just two tracks. You get a good drum loop and you get a good sample. Literally, you got a real beat right there with some other things on top of it, but you really don't have to do much. So in my head, I was fighting with myself like if I should be a sample loop producer or if I should just make beats, you know, from scratch. Then I had to get out that field because nobody makes beats from scratch. Nobody originates sound and whatnot. But I was trying something different here. I don't make beats like this no more, because what I do now is I just know how to make the sample sound the way I need it to sound, and then I just put my drums up underneath it. So track 1 has the drums. So this is what the drums sound like. And I try to give it a little variation at the last end of it on the 8th bar. And I usually do my beats in single time, which is like 70 BPM. And you can speed this up to like 140, 145. Like you could go any speed that you want, but you won't have all of these hits in here. It'll be a lot faster. You know what I mean? You'll actually space them out instead of like quarter notes, but probably half a bar, maybe a bar. It depends on how you chop the sample up. But and this particular BPM, 70, so that way I was able to put the hits on every quarter note. Is actually the short sample. So let me show you what this sample sounds like. Let's go to this guy over here. So that's what the sample sound like. All I took was just the first part of it, of that screen part, and then another hit after that. So I literally just chopped that up into even 32 notes, and then I put it on this track, which is the second track, or even I literally chopped that up into individual 16 notes, and then I just threw it on this sample track by itself. And then I just used the first note and the fourth note. You could actually go nuts with it, you know what I'm saying? Because I didn't balance this out and create the beat in Logic like I normally do. So what I did was I just left the 8-bar loop. So it's just an 8-bar loop. I didn't even finish the beat fully. You know what I mean? So it's a bunch of shit you could do. It's a bunch of shit you could do on this beat. But let me show you what this. So that's pretty much what that track sound like, right? So now the next track would be me adding instrumentation on top of this particular sample, right? So I'm sitting here in my brain trying to be creatively different. I mean, you could do it this way. Yes, you can. You know what I mean? You could add all types of instrumentation on top of the sample that you're making. But I found that, you know, when I'm making beats, if I find me a good sample, I don't have to add a piano. I don't have to add bass. Well, I normally always add a bass, but I normally don't add no other instrumentation on top of that. What I do is I sound design that particular sample so that way it sound like there's other instrumentation in it. So the key game is sound design. So if you can learn how to design your sound and whatnot, you could go far with making beats and whatnot, and then get good with drumming. You'll be nice. So here's what this track sound like. This was just stabs of the same note. And you can see I had made some mess ups here, messed up there, made some mess, and I just leave those in. I don't really care. I leave them in. You know what I'm saying? That's how that go. Next track. Now this track right here is my drum track. I always put, if I'm using a drum sample, I'm always going to layer it with my own drums. If I'm just going to put a kick, if I'm just going to replace a snare, if I'm just going to replace the whole entire drum loop and whatnot. And then I filter it, both the tracks together, so that way it sound like one cohesive track and whatnot. You know, if you want to say you create your own sound, this is how you, I guess, create your own sound. So this is what the whole beat sound like all together. Now I kind of do like it, you know what I mean? I mean, I could, I still hear that I could put more stuff to it. Like I said, it's only an 8-bar loop. So I just left it as that, and I didn't really create the beat out of it and whatnot. But thinking about it, I may just do that and whatnot, you know what I'm saying? Because the way it sounds, I'm starting to hear other things on top of it that I could put onto it. But busy life and you just keep making new beats, sometimes you forget to go back to all these old ones. So that's why I'm doing this series, so that way I could actually hear these beats that I actually did before and be like, wow, I was actually pretty good like 7, 8 years ago when I first started. So if there's anything you learned in this video, let me know in the comments. If it's something you want to know, also let me know. If you're interested in sound design and me creating videos like that, also let me know. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I appreciate you for watching. Taurus the General. Peace.